What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Pet Shop Boys. And we're going back to their 1990 album, Behaviour. And the next tune is another title which slots very nicely into their tradition of expressions that you hear in common exchanges and discussions and conversations, and that is Only the Wind. But here, I feel like the more common meaning is not the one that came to mind when I saw it, which is to say, I think oftentimes there, whether in TV shows and movies especially, but even in life, people will think they hear something, and then maybe that was just the wind, rustling the leaves of the trees, or shaking the bushes, or making a wooden frame creak or something. So I feel like oftentimes that expression means they thought something was there, but it wasn't. But when I saw it, my brain went to the more deliberate application of essentially the same principle. But I was thinking that, like, sometimes if someone is saying something that you just completely disregard, or maybe they've done things that means they don't warrant your attention anymore, it's like, no, I don't hear anything. I only hear a breeze. I only hear the wind. So when I saw the title, that's where my brain went. The idea of essentially saying, like, I'm not even acknowledging you. Like, you've passed, some threshold, and I no longer even, hear you speaking. But again, I think the more common expression is like, oh, did I hear something? No, I guess it was only the wind. So I wonder how metaphorically or allegorically these might play in. I have no doubt that even if one or both or neither of those things are relevant, there will be some narrative, there'll be some depiction of a scene between people. I do know enough about their music now to know that their songwriting, it's layered. They have often layers that are both, whether historical or cultural, but also very personal, and sort of a narrative, but also touching on like really important and maybe in some cases heavy, like unpleasant themes. So let's see what this one is. This is Pet Shop Boys' Only the Wind from their 1990 album Behaviour. Hey, like a Beastie Boys too. Until right there. Little bossa nova feel to the keyboards.
It's only the wind blowing water all around. soon. When life is calmer, I have no doubts, no angry drama. A storm blows itself out. A storm blows itself out.
I do love those dramatic synths in the back. Little string.
I'm sorry.
Lyrically, I'm struggling to catch up to that one. At first, I was like, is it, the wind? And it sounds like, it could be over, and then, things like cease. Like afterward, I was thinking maybe it was some like Cold War point. Now, obviously, 1990 would not be the same as a Cold War song in like 84, 85, something like that. But either way, that's where my brain was sort of going with some of the lines that I was catching in part at first. But as it played out, it felt like that wasn't maybe what was going on. It did feel more personal, but either way, I'm curious because I did hear the title phrase, but I'm not sure what to make of all the pieces that I caught. So I look forward to hearing people's comments on this one in that regard. The beat, like I said, at the very beginning, it had this sort of kick hip-hop, like old school hip-hop feel. And then ultimately, a number of the elements had a jazzy aspect. As I said, it felt like a bit of a bossa nova keyboard run at the beginning, and then that, I think, synth brass later, or brass-like synth that came in later. That gave it a real progressive jazz feel, like a late '70s brass driven progressive jazz type of tune. And the whole time it had that sort of atmospheric, melodic bubble feeling that a lot of PSP tunes give me, which is to say, they have their own flavor. I've mentioned it before. I now feel confident that, except, maybe very anomalous tunes, I could hear a tune from them for the first time, and even before Neil starts singing, I feel like I'd be able to say, this might be a PSP tune. And part of what I mean when I say that is their tunes just have this, whether it's the pads in the background, often a big part of it, sometimes the percussion, I've mentioned it before, all the little, hi-hats and cymbals and just their little percussive grooves that are part of the overall rhythm of the track. I think they do that really well. But there's always just this melodic feeling in the tune, this, heavy kind of melodic atmosphere. Not heavy in terms of, the weight of the sound or the lightness of the tune, but just meaning like significant, like a very significant atmosphere to so many of their tunes. So this is another one that I think perfectly conveyed that. So yeah, looking forward to the remainder of the album. In the moment, I don't remember how many more tunes, but I feel like there's at least several more. So and yeah, we'll keep going through the Liza Minnelli album as well. I haven't done that reaction in this batch yet, but my plan is to get to one in this batch. So hopefully there'll be one there, and if for some reason I don't, I'll definitely pin a comment to that effect. But even if that's the case, it should come in the next day or two. So in any case, let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.